If you're hoping to learn more about premium home theater audio, you've come to the right place. Today we're going beyond the soundbar and into components that deliver a theater experience. Let's get to it. Let's start with one of the key differentiators, surround sound. Surround sound is all about creating a 360-degree audio environment. It's like being in the center of your favorite movie scene or concert with sounds coming from all directions. And surround sound works especially well if you get the speakers in the right spots. You might have come across configurations like 5.1, 7.1, or even 9.1.4. These numbers represent the number of speakers in a setup and what they're used for. Let's break it down. The first number represents the speakers at ear level or in the wall. The second number is an indication of how many subwoofers are being used. So, for example, the most common is a 5.1 surround sound setup. This means there are a total of 5 speakers, 1 center channel, left and right front speakers, left and right back speakers, and a sub. And that is what the 5.1 represents. More recently, there has been the addition of a third set of numbers. These represent how many height or up-firing speakers. In a 9.1.4 setup, there are 9 speakers around at ear level, 1 subwoofer, and 4 speakers either above or pointed towards the ceiling so they can reflect or bounce around the room. Now, let's talk a little more about each speaker. The center speaker is your dialogue hero. It's where most of the on-screen conversation comes from. It's also supporting the front left and right speakers, which are responsible for most of the music and sound effects. They also support the center speaker with dialogue, especially when a character is moving across the screen. Then we have the surround speakers. These handle off-screen sound effects or the ones that happen around the listening area, giving you that immersive feel. And let's not forget about the subwoofer. This is your bass powerhouse. It reproduces the lower frequencies or bass that the other speakers may not be able to handle. So that's a quick breakdown on the setups and speakers. Your speakers, as well as your other devices in your theater, get connected to your AVR, often called a receiver. You see, an AVR is like the quarterback of your home theater system. It takes signals from your inputs like your Blu-ray player, game console, or streaming device, processes the signals, and then sends them out to your speakers and TV. The result? That immersive audio and video experience we're working towards. So, what should you look for when choosing your receiver? First, think about the number of devices you'll be connecting. You need to make sure that your receiver has enough inputs to handle all of them. HDMI inputs are especially crucial for connecting modern devices, so be sure to check on that. Secondly, consider the audio formats the receiver supports. If you're hoping to build an immersive surround sound setup, then you'll want to get a receiver that supports that. Look for formats like DTS Digital Surround, Dolby Atmos, and DTS-X, just to name a few. Don't forget about networking capabilities. If you're a fan of streaming music services or want to integrate your receiver into a wider home automation system, you'll need a receiver that supports Wi-Fi or Ethernet connectivity. Finally, consider your room size and speaker requirements. AV receivers are rated by the power they can deliver to your speakers, measured in watts per channel. If you have a larger room or less efficient speakers, you might need more power. Today, we're going to be setting up a top-tier 5.1 audio system using speakers from Bowers & Wilkins and an AVR from Marantz. Surround sound speakers should be set up in a circle around the primary listening location. Not all rooms can support this ideal setup, so you can make adjustments based on your needs. So we already know that the center channel is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting with dialogue and most of the sound that is happening on screen. It's advised to place the center channel in the middle between the left and right edges of the TV. This would be the 0-degree position relative to your primary listening location. Ideally, your center speaker would be at the same height as your ears. This is difficult when you have a TV also at eye level. Because of this, it is usually best to place the speaker just below the lower edge of the TV, usually on some sort of furniture under the TV. The front left and right speakers should be angled to point directly at the primary listening location. Keeping the front left and right speakers at ear level while sitting in the primary listening location is also important. With tower speakers, like these from Bowers & Wilkins, that is pretty much taken care of for you. However, if you are using smaller speakers like bookshelf speakers, then the use of speaker stands may be necessary. The surround speakers need to be placed at about 90 to 110 degrees from the listening position. They should be placed just behind you. And just like the front left and right speakers, the surround speakers need to be angled toward the primary location. Using furniture, mounts, or speaker stands can help get these speakers at ear level while sitting. Or, if it works for your situation, you could install in-wall speakers. The last speaker we have is the subwoofer. When you're using a single subwoofer, it is generally best to place it at the front near the TV. The subwoofer will likely vibrate a lot as it reproduces the low-frequency sounds. It is best not to put the subwoofer on any furniture as it will likely cause some rattle and the low-frequency sounds may not travel well throughout your space. Now you can connect the speakers to your AVR. On the back, there will be various connections as well as various inputs and outputs for different components of your system. For most of your speakers, you'll be looking for speakers posts. This is what they look like on the back of this Marantz AVR. Connect your speakers to the corresponding speaker connections on the AVR. You can use speaker wire that has bare ends. For fast connection and disconnection, you can opt for speaker wires that are finished. This can also make it easier on your fingers so you don't have to screw and unscrew the speaker connections. If you do have finished speaker wire, just make sure the ends are compatible with your AVR. Subwoofers can be passive or powered. Passive subwoofers get their power from the AVR, just like the other speakers in the system. Powered subwoofers, like this Bowers & Wilkins model, will have its own amplifier that power the subwoofer. This means we just need a subwoofer cable to connect from the AVR to the subwoofer to send a signal, not any power. After getting the speakers, audio and video sources, and your TV connected to the AVR, you can calibrate your audio system. I highly suggest reading through the manual for your AVR and looking over what all the settings mean. And if your AVR supports it, use the audio calibration program to help dial in your speakers. Many built-in audio calibration programs will help configure the correct size of speaker you have, if your speakers are out of phase, and calibrate for the distances to the primary listening location, among many other things. This will help ensure you get the best sound out of your equipment. Well, there you have it. Play around with the placement of your speakers, adjust the settings, and most importantly, trust your ears. After all, you're the one who's going to be enjoying the immersive audio experience. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more tech tips from Best Buy. And if you'd like further recommendations on home theater audio, make a free appointment with a Best Buy home expert. Click the link below to find out more or set up an appointment. Thanks for watching.